Hi, I'm Deb, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Yoga Bites with Deb. Today we have a practice that's all about those hips, all from a seated position. You might find it helpful to use a block in this practice. So I hope you'll join me in a seated position. Come into a seated position, perhaps using a prop like I am, a rolled up towel. We're going to bring your right foot in first, left foot in front of the right. Sitting up nice and tall, I'm going to take my left hand on that left thigh, my right hand onto the mat. So I'm going to push that left thigh down and I'm going to turn to face my right knee. So I'm going to push the thigh down and I'm going to lean over that right knee. So take a nice inhale to lengthen, and then exhale, see if you can sink your heart a little closer to your thigh. Inhale to lengthen, keep pushing that thigh down, exhale, sink. And then we're going to lengthen ourselves up. We're going to bring our fingertips in front and maybe walk ourselves forward any amount. Tuck the chin in. If you're able to come onto your forearms, you can. A couple slow, deep breaths here. Walk yourself up. We're going to switch the crossing of our legs. Now the left foot comes in first, the right foot in front of the left, sitting tall. Now my right hand's onto that right thigh, my left hand's on the mat. Push the right thigh down, turn to face the left knee. Inhale to lengthen, lean over that left thigh. Exhale just to sink a little deeper. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to release. Keep pressing that right thigh down with your right hand. Slowly bringing yourself up. Once again, bring those fingertips in front. Tuck your chin in, hold here, or walk forward any amount. And slowly walk back up. We're going to uncross our legs, bring our feet wider than our hips, take your hands behind you, and we're going to windshield wiper those legs. So when we drop our knees to the right, we get this 90-degree angle with our legs. And then lift up and drop to the other side. Inhale up and exhale down. So you can keep your hands supporting you, or you can try doing this without the hands, right? You might find that that's difficult for you, and then you just go back to placing your hands behind you. Then we're going to drop those knees over to the right. So again, make sure you have those 90-degree angles. Knees in line with hips, ankles in line with knees. Sitting up nice and tall. And then maybe extending your arms out. Interlace the fingers. And we're just going to turn. Inhale and exhale. And notice how that feels. And then we're going to lift up, go to the other side, interlace those fingers, and just inhale and exhale as we turn. If you find that this very uncomfortable or not very easy for you to do, it's a little bit much, you can just keep windshield wiping your legs from side to side. We have to start somewhere. Releasing up, again, going to that right side, and this time just a little playful action here. Come forward, lean from side to side. Just how does it feel? How do your hips feel? Where does your body need to hold and breathe into and open up? Coming up and going to the other side. And this does not have to look like anything. You're just exploring. How does it feel? Notice how it feels in your body. Maybe one side is tighter than the other. Excellent. Bringing ourselves up. Now we're going to bring the soles of our feet together and allow those knees to drop out to either side in our bound angle pose, Baddha Konasana, holding on perhaps to your ankles. Some people like to hold on to their toes. You can bring the heels in. You do not have to jam them. And you can decide to stay upright, and maybe you like to flutter. If you're super tight, maybe that feels good to you. Or some of you might like to lengthen the spine and then bow forward. And some people might just like to bow forward. We don't have to have the length necessarily. And we're just breathing deeply, noticing how it feels. How does it feel through the crease of the hips, through the outer hips? How does it feel in your low back? Nice deep breaths. And then we're going to slowly lengthen ourselves up. I'm going to grab hold of my right leg. So my left hand's going to hold on to the right foot. Right hand's going to hold on to the right knee. And I'm just going to sway side to side. I like to keep my foot flexed and just sway. And this might be perfect, right? Again, if we're really tight in those hips, this might be enough. Or if we want to cradle our baby and you have that flexibility, keeping this right foot flexed, you're going to put the foot into the crease of the elbow and you're going to wrap the crease of the elbow on your right hand around your knee, and maybe you can interlace your fingers. So some people, this is maybe not accessible. Maybe it would be better to hold on to the hand and cradle the elbow with the knee and the elbow. That might work, right? And we're just cradling that baby, just sort of loosen up through the hip, loosen up, loosen up. So whatever works for you. And then gently place it down. And then we're going to lift up the left foot. Right hand holds the foot. Left hand gently holds the knee. Start by just simple rocking. And you decide, maybe this is all that's needed. Maybe you could cradle the knee in the crook of the elbow, get it a little closer. Keep your hand on your foot. Or maybe keeping that foot flexed, you can get it into the crook of your right elbow and rock that baby. And it just depends, how tight are your hips? If your hips are super tight, you won't be able to do this variation, but that doesn't mean you can't do the pose. So pick the variation that works for you. Just loosen up. Cradle that baby. Be kind. And then slowly, slowly release. We're going to come into the cow face legs only pose. So for some of us, again, this is a challenging posture. You might find it helpful to grab a block and actually sit on the block. So if you sit up on the block and then you bring your right foot towards that left hip and cross your left knee on top of the right knee. So you can do this, knee on top of knee. All right, so some of you using the block will help you access this. Some of you might not need the block. You might be able to sit down, maybe just on a rolled up towel or just right on your mat. That's fine. And some of you might find that this just does not work. That bottom leg, that right leg, just straighten it. That's it. So one of these variations I hope works for you. And then we can choose to stay upright, or let's tuck our chin in and let's bow forward. Come forward. Round forward, let your body be heavy. Your hands could be in front of you for support. They could hold on to your ankles, whatever works, and just breathe. And then we're going to slowly lengthen up and slowly uncross those legs. If it feels good to just do another little windshield wiper from side to side before we go to the other side, you can do that. And then either sitting on that prop or on a rolled up towel, you're going to bring now the left foot in towards the right hip and the right knee on top of the left knee, adjusting, trying to get knee on top of knee, only if that's comfortable for you. Otherwise, that bottom leg, that left leg could straighten out. Still going to get a stretch for those hips. Not quite as intense, but that's okay. If that's what your body needs, then that's what your body needs. All right, if you like, sit up tall, maybe tuck your chin in, or start to allow gravity just kind of pull you forward, and relax. Let the chin tuck in. Focus on your breath. Soften as much as you can. And then slowly lengthening up, slowly uncrossing, maybe extending the legs out and give them a little shake. And then for our final posture today, we're going to do our double pigeon pose, a seated pigeon pose, which can be extremely challenging. So you might want to block if you can't get into the full posture. I am going to sit on my rolled up towel just to help tilt that pelvis in the proper position. So I'm going to take my right foot and flex it, lining up the ankle with my knee. And then the full posture would be flex your left foot and get that ankle on top of your knee. So you have ankle on knee, knee on ankle, right? You're in the box position. But that can be extremely challenging for people. So take the block. If that's not available to you, bring your foot up onto your knee, and maybe you can just lay that foot onto the block just in front of you. If this doesn't work, then remove the block and just place the left shin in front of the right shin, like we did earlier in our practice. So whatever variation works for you, trying to keep those feet flexed. If you're in this full posture, I like to maybe place my hands onto the soles of the feet, sitting up tall, and then coming forward any amount. And just breathe. Noticing where you're maybe feeling some tension. This is targeting the left side, the outer hip here, but just notice maybe you're feeling sensations somewhere else in your body. Breathing into the sensation and relaxing as much as you can. Slowly lengthening up, and then we're going to go to the other side. So maybe you need that block. We're going to start with the left foot on the bottom, flexing it. Everybody's going to do that. And then you're either placing the right foot in front or the right foot on top of the block, flexed, or the right ankle on top of the knee, right knee on top of the left ankle. Sitting up tall, maybe tucking your chin and hold here. If you have a lot of sensation, you don't have to move. Or coming forward any amount. Focus on your breath. And then slowly lengthening up. And that is our yoga bite for today. So I hope your hips feel a little bit looser, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe.